Alright, week 3, assignment 3. Now we're going to be learning about volume. So volume has units cubed. So it's going to be a short little introduction. So what that means is that it's not like surface area. We have to find the inside, the space inside the box. So everything that's inside the box, there's space. So it's easier, right? Because it's just multiplying length times width times height. So here we're just going to label it, the example, length times width times height. Now the units of measure are centimeters. So centimeters times centimeters times centimeters is centimeters cubed. Now you can move it around. It just depends on what you want to use. Just using the example that's there, they use length, width, and height. So you can move it around. Students see the pictures in different ways, so this is why 3D objects are so difficult to understand, especially on a 2D dimension and online. But we'll try our best. So again, volume has units cubed with a 3. So it's pronounced units cubed. Just like that. Now, volume equals length times width times height. Now here, we're going to pick our length to be 14. And we're going to pick our width to be 4.5. And then the leftover will be height, 10 inches. And we just plug and chug, right? So length times width times height. Now trying to keep the order here. So 14 times 4.5 times 10. Now really quick, you can see 10 times 4.5 is gonna be 45. Now 45 times 14, that's a big number. So I'm gonna just write this down first so we can have all the steps. 14 times 45. Now let me go grab the calculator, my handy dandy calculator. I'll clear it out. So we have 14 times 45, which is 630. So again, 630. Now for the sake of cleanliness, right, I didn't write the units of measure after each number because it just gets really messy. But it's going to be inches cubed. So 14 inches times 4.5 inches times 10 inches, it's cubed. So 14 inches times 45 inches squared is inches cubed. So we're just going to keep this consistency going on. Now we're going to write our final answer, right, with the units cubed. So volume equals 630 inches cubed. Now, again, first things first, we want to label our sides and make sure you look at the box and try to figure it out. So I'm going to use elegant purple, right? Go Wildcats. Lady Cats on 3. 1, 2, 3, Lady Cats. So, let's see, I want my width to be 8 feet, my length to be 12 feet, and my height to be 39 feet. And then we're going to label them length times width times height, so it's going to be 12 times 8 times 39. Write it down. Now 12 times 8, I think it's 96, but we're going to double check just to make sure. Let me write it down, 96, if not I'll erase it. Let's see, parentheses, times 39. Let me go grab the calculator. equals, alright, clear it out. Again, let me double check. 12 times 8 is, bam, 96. Times 9 is 3,744. Remember that number, 3,744, 3,744, 3,744. Sorry, I suffer from a short-term memory loss. Just kidding. Feet cubed, so 3,744 feet cubed. Box your answer. So these are pretty straightforward. Okay, now the next one, it's still a prism, but it's a triangular prism. So that's the formula. Volume equals area of the base, so that's what big B means, times the height. So area of the base times the height. So it's the height between the bases. Now these letterings could get really confusing, but I'm going to use capital H instead. So I'll write that down here in a little bit. Now, we want to look at the picture here. We're going to look at the example, and we're just going to label this so you can see where everything's coming from. So I'm going to write in blue, right, because we're tight like glue. Base is a triangle. So here, my formula for a triangle is going to be little b times little h all over 2, right? Base times height divided by 2. So I'm just kind of recalling, what we know already in our soul. Then b times h over 2. Now the little b they used here was 12 feet. So let me put b there, the h there, my height is 7.3. Now if you can't imagine it yet or see it in your head, I'm going to try to make it look flat. So these two lines are the same. So that means that they're both 12 feet. So if I look at the bottom triangle, I have a height already. So that's 7.3 feet. I know they try to confuse you. They give you one on one side but not the bottom side, but you should be able to understand that the top of the shape is the same as the bottom of the shape in this case. Then I drew that other line to represent 7.3 feet. I would write down the number, but then it just gets more confusing and messy. So I'm just going to leave it as is. So now we have our example 4. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so number 5, again, it's going to be a triangular prism. So I'm going to just shade the bottom so you can see what we're working with. So that big B, right, we're going to be working with that triangle. It's the same as a triangle in the front. So I shaded the back on purpose so you can see that it's a triangle and we're shading it so you can see it. Now I know that might not make sense, but some people have a hard time imagining it. So that triangle is the same as the triangle in the front, and the triangle in the front gives us our measurements. So my little b is going to be 11, and then my height is going to be 5.4. So again, I'm not running the units because this gets messy really quick. So we'll write that at the end. And hopefully by now you shouldn't be struggling with units of measure. Alright, so 11 times 5.4, a little movie magic. Again, the height right there in blue, I kind of wrote it down there just to kind of give you a string here so it could connect, and just to make sure that it's coming from the difference between the bases, so the height of the bases, so that's where the H is at. And then I give you inches into millimeters because if you look closely, 16 inches is the height between the bases and it's not in millimeters, so we had to convert that into millimeters. So inches into millimeters. So 1 inch equals 25.4 millimeters. So if you want to get that, you just got to multiply 16 times 25.4, which is going to give you 406.4 millimeters. So I wrote that to the side, again, to keep a clean space. So once we have that, it should be a lot easier now. So we have our big B, which is 29.7 millimeters squared. We have our H, our big H, which is the height between the bases. So the height or the distance between the two triangles is 16 inches or 406.4 millimeters. So now we just plug it in, alright? So I'm starting it right here so you can see where it came from. And it's right there, that's where it came from, bottom left. So now we write it, we plug and chug. So our big B is gonna be 29.7, right? So I'm not writing the units, alright? I'll write it as my final answer, times 406.4 millimeters. Now multiply these two, and my answer here is going to be, drum roll please, it's a big number, it's going to be 12,070.08 millimeters cubed. So this is where I put my units of measure. Volume equals 12,070.08 millimeters cubed. Put the 3 on top. And box your answer. Now number 6, I'm going to do the same thing, a little movie magic, because it's a lot of work, but I know hopefully you guys could understand and see it and just kind of follow the steps. So if you have any questions, again, email me. I'll try to answer as quick as I can. But just be patient with me because there's 140 of y'all and there's one of me. That's what I'm trying to put these videos on the weekly for sure. On the daily, it's a bit harder with all these meetings. But okay, enough about me. Back. Number 6. I did it in orange just to kind of color code, differentiate, so it doesn't get all like boring and your eyes just kind of glaze for this reason. Area of trapezoid. So again, here it's a trapezoidal prism, so we have to find the area of a trapezoid, and I put the formula on the bottom left there. So the area of a trapezoid is big B is equal to the little height times B1 plus B2, so little base 1, little base 2, all over 2. And what we have to do is plug it in. So plug it in a formula. So we have 17.9 times 14 plus 36 all over 2. So 14 plus 36 is 50. 50 times 17.9 over 2, right? So we have 17.9 times 50 equals 895 over 2. We divide by 2, and our big B is equal to 447.5 meters squared. So then we have our big B, right? We plug it in, and then our 25, again, 25 is going to be the height between the two bases. So between the two trapezoids, right there it started, so you can see where it's coming from. Now 25, right? I multiplied those two, so 25 times 447.5 is going to equal to 11,187.5 meters cubed. So again, the volume equals 11,187.5 meters cubed. Now, again, this took me a lot to set up, but I try to talk you through it, try to step by step it. Now, hopefully, you guys understand this. And if you have any questions, again, email me, let me know. I'll try to respond as quick as I can. But this is it, guys. Good job, you guys, on working. Make sure you guys keep it PG. Don't do anything rated R. Make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, and stay alive, guys. Stay alive.